market is going to be saturated with full size, and lately everybody's been talking about compacts and doing CCW and all that. So we're going to do a little video real quick on a couple of compact pistols that we have here available to us. So come on over, check them out. We got a different school of thought here. We got everything from the Glocks to your Smith and Wessons, all the way over to your Bersas. All right, so we got a couple Glocks here, compacts. We got two wheel gun 38 special. All right, one of them's gonna be a Charter Arms, the other one's a Taurus. I particularly like a Taurus. Bersa, very popular, cheap but very popular. Does a great job. We'll see that one. And then the Smith and Wesson Shield. So we're gonna pick these ones up. We're gonna check out how they shoot. We're not really gonna do anything specific today, like doing specific gun reviews or anything like that. But basically, showcasing how these things run, how well they fit in your clothing. Okay, right now it's the tail end of winter. All right, so they're going to be easier to conceal, but at some point I'll probably just be standing here in a t-shirt showing you how these things will fit in your pocket or your waistband or something like that. Just basically showing off the difference between the bulkier Glock and then you'll have the thinner profile Shield. All right, so we'll be checking those out. So we're going to check out the Fat Boy first, okay? So we're going to have this Glock 26. All right, this is one of the earlier ones. Everybody was popping these in and out. All right, you can easily just stick these in your pocket. Nobody thinks anything of it. It's a little bit heavier. It's a double stack. It's a Fat Boy. But being the compact that it is, it'll just stick right into a pocket. You don't even think twice about it. You get a nice holster for it that'll conceal it really good. You can stick it in your waistband and it disappears without any problem. Even if you just got a t-shirt covering it, it still disappears real good. Now that's the bigger one out of the lot, aside from those revolvers, okay, which we'll get to that in a minute. But just like any of these pistols, these are striker fire. It's just one trigger pull, one shot. You get the same trigger pull every time. Now, where you're going to see a difference of that is you're going to have the double singles. The actual double single here, like the Bersa, your first trigger pull is going to be heavy when you're cocking that hammer, and then everything after that's going to be a single action. Okay, so you're going to have a lighter trigger pull on that. We'll get on that in a minute. So anyway, let's see how this Fat Boy does. So something to take notice of with these small compact guns, okay, you're going to have the shorter barrel on there, and they are accurate, but they're not meant for long distance, okay? So we're probably looking at maybe, I don't know, 40 feet, maybe 50, something like that. So you're going to start drifting a little bit. With that shorter barrel, okay, you're going to have less velocity, and it's not going to stabilize as well, and it's going to start drifting wherever the hell it wants. And that goes from manufacturer to manufacturer. Glock's usually pretty good about that. But I was having no problem with the swingers. They were a little bit closer. And I started reaching out trying to touch those bowling pins, and I wasn't having very much luck. So we'll try something a little bit different here. That was out of a 9mm. Okay, so those 9mm are doing the job. So let's check out this Taurus. This Taurus 38 special. All right, these things are going to be a little bit bulkier. Not as big as this guy. Well, they're about similar. It's going to be a little bit of a thinner profile, except for the cylinder, but basically the same size with that. You're not going to get much smaller than that unless you get like a 22 or something. So same thing, you can just throw these in a pocket or whatever in your waistband or whatever. I don't need to go through all that. And a lot of times you're going to have a straight double action. You're not going to have a hammer spur on that. I prefer a hammer spur, but problem with that is it gets hung up on clothing and all this crap. And generally for a CCW gun, you're not going to want that. But for a little compact shooter gun, this thing works out fine. So I can shoot this thing in double action and in the single action. So I'm going to do a couple single action real quick. And we'll put them down on those swingers, then we'll reach out a little bit more. Okay. Now with these wheel guns, like you just saw, it's not as easy as just dropping a magazine. You got to empty out that cylinder, and then you got to put them in. You can get a speed loader for that. You just put it in there, twist it off, and you can put it back in, and it's fine. But what you got to keep in mind is you still got that real short barrel. Now, those 38 specials got a little bit more oomph coming out of them than those 9mm. And for me personally, I'm more accurate with a revolver, but even so, I only still hit one of those bowling pins back there. All right, so you gotta keep in mind with that shorter barrel, with that smaller frame and everything, you're gonna start giving up sacrifice and accuracy. But that's not what these guns are meant for. These guns are meant for being up close and personal. When somebody's standing right here demanding your money, and you're popping up out of your pocket and putting them in his belly. So that's just something to keep in mind. But you can still target shoot with them if you want. So anyway, let's horse around with this Glock and this shield over here. So we got two competitors here. We got a Glock 43 and we got the Glock or the Smith and Wesson Shield. All right, look very similar, don't they? All right, so they're direct competitors. All right, they're slim profile single stackers, 9 mils, and these are what are dominating the market today. Okay, everybody likes their striker fire semi-auto pistols. With the slim profile, you could easily stick them in your pocket, but with these two competing companies with two different schools of thought, let's see how each one does. We'll start off with the 43. Well, if I put my ears in, that'll be good. Alright, so the swinger's no problem. And I nicked one of the bowling pins. So let's see how the shield stacks up. Real similar results, basically the same thing. Hitting the swingers up close, reaching out a little bit further, and eventually you'll hit the bowling pin. But still, you gotta keep in mind that you're not gonna have the best accuracy out of it. But it does the job. I'm still knocking over bowling pins, not a problem. So let's check out this Charter Arms. It's basically the same thing as that Taurus, still a 38. This is an undercover. I've never shot this one, so we'll see how it does, but it's a little bit different shape on the hammer spur, but it does fine. Actually, it doesn't stick out the way the Taurus does, so that might not catch on your clothing as bad, but it'll still do it. So let's see how she does on this one. I'll do this one all in double action. Now, keep in mind with that double action, especially on these revolvers, you're going to have a considerably heavier trigger pull on there. So when we do that Bersa, it's going to be a lot less trigger pull on that thing than with this, because you're actually pulling that hammer all the way back. All right, and that's what's actually sending that firing pin forward. So you're probably going to be looking at like a, I don't know, maybe a 10-pound trigger on this thing, doing the double action. It's probably going to make accuracy suffer. I hope I didn't have a dud. Trigger pull is absolutely atrocious on this. I did not like it, but it does a job for something that we're emptied out. Something that you're going to pop out of the pocket with and just start blazing away at somebody. This one in particular is not for me, but it might suit somebody else. All right. Now this is my personal favorite, this Bersa Thunder 380. They're super cheap, okay, but they're accurate and they get the job done. Now here's the problem though, you got 380. Now a 9mm and a 38 are not man stoppers by any means, but a 380 definitely isn't a man stopper, but it'll get the job done. So let's give this one a couple shots. I got 2 more bowling pins, so hopefully we can knock those over. Now this is also a double single too. So I'm going to start my first shot off doing that double action only. It's going to be a little bit of a heavier trigger pull. Not as bad as that Charter Arms, but everything after that's going to be a single action, so it should be smooth shooting after that. Decock it. There we go. Now at that 380, that bullet's already dropping by the time it's hitting those swingers. We just saw I had to aim up toward like the neck area of that bottom swinger before it did anything. All right, it's pretty freaking cold, so I'm gonna make this short and sweet. So This would be closer to the summertime. Okay, so you're gonna have a short sleeve shirt or whatever, maybe something thin like this. You're gonna take some of these and you're gonna see how different ones are. So, like this 26 is a little bit fatter, like we were talking about, and you're gonna show how she prints if you're just sticking it in your waistband. You know, still almost nothing there. Versus a full size is gonna be sticking all the way out. You easily stick it in a jeans pocket. That's gonna be printing like crazy. Okay. So that's something to think about when you're looking at like a double stacker. You're gonna have a little bit more to play with, but it's still gonna print more. So this is gonna be a thinner profile with the Bersa on there, but it's a little bit of a longer gun. It's actually got a 3-inch barrel on there versus the other one's got like 1.5 or a 2. So with that thinner profile, still in that waistband, you're not gonna show anything. Okay. In the pocket, it's gonna be a little bit easier. Okay. You might not have as much showing. I mean, you're still gonna have a gun printing in there, but it'll still show. It's not going to show as much. Now, a revolver, we're talking about a different case here, all right? Because there's nothing you can do about these, just because they have to have the bulkier frame on there. In the waistband, not too much going on there, okay? But in the pocket, we're going to be talking about something else. All right, that thing is definitely showing you. Definitely know you got a gun there. Now, if you're holstered up on your side, we'll just put it in my belt right now because I don't have holsters for everything, like that. You're still going to definitely show a print on the side. Just like you would with one of these Glocks, like with the 43, you're still going to print on the side. So that's something you got to keep in mind when you're going to be CCW in it. But there's holsters and inside the waistband holsters that you can do that will compensate for that. All right, so we're going to do a quick shout out for our buddy Mark over at Workaday Custom Gun Leather. So my buddy got his daughter this nice little pink pistol. Ooh. And to match it up, Mark made her a very nice snakeskin leather holster. Now, you can see this is, I think, one of his sloop holsters. And it fits in there real nice and tight. To the point right now, because it's still fresh, it's pulling that slide back, but that'll wear in a little bit. But this is going to slide right in there, right on the belt loop. And if you're looking at it like that, you're still going to have a little bit of printing. But I don't know if she's going to be carrying anytime soon. But just for a nice holster that matches up with the gun, especially for a girl or something like that, it's just, he did an excellent job with it. The quality and the stitching is just awesome. I can't wait to get some of my holsters back from Mark, and you ought to check them out too. Check the description for a link.